27th, 28th.
God, fucking favorites bar is not having an issue. God damn it. Fuck this fucking app, bro. The app sucks so much fucking dick. The worst fucking shit ever.
Jesus.
Like, how fucking hard is it to make an app function properly? I'm so confused.
I don't know.
All you're doing is porting over fucking everything you already have on goddamn Safari into a fucking app. It's just the same fucking thing. This opens directly to TradingView. I'm
Exactly.
fucking livid with this shit company. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I'll cover like this day. Right, so this day, like, how do I hide this? Can I hide this panel for now? I want to delete it. Can I just hide it?
Yeah, I think you should be able to minimize it.
More than that? Oh, whatever. Okay. So, like, let's take into consideration, like, this day on GU, right? Mm-hmm. So, just very simply to start, we have channeling out of Asia.
Yeah.
So I'll do this all like step by step. Okay, so here's Asia. Just channeling out of Asia. There's I'll pull like, so there's a let's just, yeah. I'll worry about that stuff in a second.
Gotcha.
So first thing to do is start with Asia. So channeling out of Asia. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show that there was channeling. Oh my God. Build up false channel. This is in Asia. Awesome. All right. So at this point, the Asia high is getting induced, but it's more or less building on the Asia high. We can still consider that. There's our Asia high getting induced. This is our Asia low to be induced. Right? This is a medium inducement if we take it. This is from prior day's price action. And we can see that we had a lot of like more or less relative equal highs here taken. And so now what's happening? Price popping up slightly. And now we're getting into London. So what's happened? Well, first and foremost, we can see price had a false, I'll just go to the 1 minute chart. So Asia high getting induced, there's price building. There is price having a nice little pump. There's price getting induced. There's our ultimate current high, right? So these were more or less equal highs to take. These were relatively equal highs to take. And really all we're looking for is coming into London, an inducement. So right here with equal highs, which get induced. So there is a minor inducement of those equal highs. Also, if we look to the left to see where we had a medium inducement for that day. So there's our medium inducement coming out of Asia to induce price action higher. If we go into what we actually hit, what do we see here? So on the 1 minute, we can see there's an imbalance that starts from this candle, this bearish candle. If I pull this over, oh, we actually didn't hit it. So maybe we went to a 5 minute version. Yeah, we did. We just went to the 5 minute. Right there. So here's a rather large 5 minute area of interest. It's not really like my favorite thing in the world. And then if I go to the 1 minute, maybe I pulled the 1 minute wrong. It's the 1 minute. No, because that's the candle there's our imbalance. This is the candle that starts the imbalance. I can play around some different time frames here really fast. Go to 2 minute. So on the 2 minute, I could maybe use that point there.
Then it balance right. Yeah, it's clean. Damn. God damn. That's crazy.
There's my 2 minute AOI within the 5 minute AOI. Now, something else to keep in mind is that we have a smart money trap on the 5 minute here.
Yep.
Why is it a smart money trap? Because we had an efficiency of pullback after the lows were made. Price never tested demand first. And though we left imbalances here to fill, this is an EFF, so it's an efficiency of the pullback.
They would have considered that a charge too.
So this is now a smart money trap. It's an FFS. It's like, for fuck's sake, it blows through it immediately. Here we have a break of structure. So right here is a BOS. It's an internal BOS. And there the Asia lows have been induced. And now what do we have? We have vectoring. Now, could we have taken that trade up top? Let's find out. So immediately what we could have done is we have the divergence confirmed. So on a 1 minute, if I go into the 1 minute price action, I can actually probably find something here on a 1 minute. So that gets induced there. These are my relative equal highs on the 1 minute to be taken. All right, so on my 1 minute, I have price prints new highs. So here's a minor inducement on this equal highs. Price comes back low. I can see right here, I have a small, not really an internal break structure, because this is more or less the low that printed the highs. Price comes back, falters low again, comes back up to induce the highs one more time. Now we're getting close to the open. You can see I'm testing in the price one more time. There's not really an entry to be had at that very moment. If I go to the 5 minute, there is, and I can show you it on the 5 minute, because right here on the 5 minute, we can see price right here. Do you see how it's sloped down?
Yeah.
But here, what happened?
Price shifted up.
Right, so this is an EDM.
What's an EDM again? Sorry.
So EDM is going to be your what is it called? Equilibrium something mitigation. Equilibrium divergent mitigation.
Gotcha.
Okay, now this is not actually considered an EDM because they're not mitigating. So I actually don't know if they'd even consider taking this as a trade. Realistically, this would have just been your scenario one trade, which is a mitigation of the extremes. So there's your mitigation of the extreme. There's your internal BOS to the downside. There's your secondary internal BOS for the Asia lows getting induced. There's medium inducement and smart money trap that gets turned into FFS. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we can track the rest of PA rather simply. I can also just put this right here as building. It's just sideways building.
Yeah.
This is a buildup. Here's also a buildup. So we build up, we induce low, right? Not really, but we do. We print what here? Equal lows. Fuck. Okay, so we create less equal lows here, relative equal lows. Price then has a false channel up. So prices build up, false trend. Oh, Brandon just texted me. Let me sort it. Thank you. Build up for false trend. There's a tighter build up here coming out of Asia. So there's your tight buildup. Now we're getting to induce the Asia high. So Asia high gets induced, right? So there's Asia high getting induced during Frankfurt. And in addition to that, we're testing the 2-minute AOI and the 5-minute AOI, right? So here we can see final inducement of the highs, done minutes to L open. All right, so that is just a trade you could have taken purely based on the intraday schematic. Here we're getting to London. You can see the huge vectoring candles in the London. Okay. Oh, fuck. Right there. Do you see that?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay, so let me replay that. I'm gonna mark all this
Gotcha.
stuff.
Gotcha.
Okay, so what happens? So now we're coming into the open.
Yeah.
And we get what?
You get the
Huge, we get vector candles.
Yeah.
5-minute. This is London open.
And vector
Inducing-
is basically just like your
fast push.
Yeah.
Push.
Gotcha. V-shaped movements.
Inducing lows. No, not V-shape, nothing. It's just you see the velocity and the size of these candles.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
What would this do? This would make everybody short.
Yeah,
Now what happens when they short?
they're fucked because they got in late.
Well, they get in late. And most of them are getting on the breakouts of Asia. So this is where they're getting in. And now it's happening. So now with that happening, we do what? Now I can go here. I pull up this. I look here on this.
What the fuck?
I go on the 1 minute actually. So here's what I'm gonna do. On the 1 minute, I go into the 1 minute and I look for the candle that caused my imbalance, right? So more or less I have an imbalance in price to fill between here and here. This is more or less filled. So let me go to the 5 minute, and on the 5 minute, I can find that this was the candle. So 1, 2, 3, huge imbalance. So I can actually take this candle and mark this as my 5 minute area of interest. Now I can go into the 1 minute and I can try to find, or actually I don't know which candle is going to react perfectly off, so we'll find out. But what do I see here? Here I have building in equal lows, right? So equal lows, which mean liquidity is being built, right? And so now after the liquidity is getting built, here's price pushing. And now I know two things. One, my midline is going to carry a lot of liquidity in Asia. But two, I know what? My 5 minute AOI is getting tested.
Yeah.
In addition to my 5 minute AOI getting tested, what can I look for?
Oh.
On the 5 minute, I now have a let. Right? So now on my 5 minute, I have a let. A let is where we're tapping and bouncing to the downside.
Gotcha.
Which you'll see occur very quickly here, right? So here, my 5 minute area interest, I'm getting mitigation of the mitigation. Entry helper confirming let. And so now what's going to happen?
Price should just
Now I have equal lows
to
the downside. right? If I go to the 1 minute, tap in, so that would have been entry, stops, tapped, done. 1 minute comes in, right? Pushes off, comes back a little bit, pushes off. I can see if maybe there's an EDM trade here. There isn't. There's no other trade to be taken right there. But now this is going to push off. And so now I also know we have the equal lows here that need to get taken. I had slight building here. So this is just build up. My inducement. Inducement high. So I had what? Build up, inducement, mitigation. Build up, inducement, mitigation.
Wow.
Build up, inducement, mitigation. And I know these equal lows need to get taken.
Yeah.
Go back on the 5 minute here. And now what do I know this is?
It's just
Smart money trap.
yeah.
Why is it a trap and not an FFS? Because it got tested. We're seeing a false reaction.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
Here's it trying to push. Equal lows are taken.
Yeah.
Here I have building. Right? Very tight price action. And after the building, I know what?
You're looking for building, inducement, mitigation again. So
there's my
looking
building.
Yeah. Oh wow, that played right into that 1 minute too.
Yeah. So what is this?
That's
The push, the pullback, my decisional. Right? We don't even need to take that though.
Yeah.
It's like not even worth taking, because why focus on all this when we already have our two main trades that we're in, right? Yeah. There is the minor inducement of the equal lows. Which is now forcing people to do what?
To
short.
Short, yeah.
They short, what happens? Price has a false channel going long.
Yep.
Post the inducement. Now price is going false channel long. Where do I have an imbalance in price? If I even really feel like taking any of these, which I honestly don't even need to take, right? Right here, I have on a 5 minute, yes, there's that you could take this off. I don't even really care for it.
Yeah.
Because there's no point. There's another minor inducement of the lows. Fuck me up, bro. There's another BOS. And what? Inducement.
Yeah.
Internal BOS plus inducement. And here's price. And so now I have what? This price chilling. Now we're getting into time, right? And so now I'm looking at New York's price action. I'm going, okay, that's already been mitigated. Mitigation of the mitigation. Never really kind of tested into anything here. There's still more or less we consider an imbalance, although I'm not really confirmed or worried about it. Because what does New York do? Absolutely shit bricks. And now London close comes into play, and usually they need to go into something to mitigate. But the rest of it's like basically just fucking whatever. You could look to the left, but the structure's so far out, there's not even a point. That's something he said, is if it's like so far away, don't even bother.
Makes sense.
Right? Because now what I'm looking for, and the only thing I'm looking for is this is like retail heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is from here to here. This is, and like we can keep doing this until price is done. Until I build into Asia the next day. What do I have? All of this is just retail heaven, because all the retailers are just what? Short.
Yeah.
Which means this is all just liquidity.
Makes sense.
And now we get into Asia the next day. I have low here, high here, low here, internal BOS here. This came in and induced that low. I'm not even worried about it. We'll just get into the next day. Play out the next day stuff. Okay, so next day. So next day, this. Okay, so next day, it's all just liquidity buildup, retail heaven. I'm looking at this low, which has never been induced. Right, so this would be a medium inducement. Low's never been induced. I can look at this this high, this high, right, to maybe get induced. I can also just focus on this one currently. That is a minor inducement. I can look at maybe this high, because this is the structural point. I can look at this as a medium inducement. But let's mark up Asia again, right? So this is a relatively easy thing. So what do I have in Asia? I have false building to the upside, right? My false channel in Asia. And what do I have here? Here's my Asia high, which gets induced there. Here's my Asia low, which gets induced here. What did I have here? Inducements, which this was the high that generated the low, right? We had a minor inducement slash BOS, which makes what? Most people would see this as the demand that broke structure, right? So what is this? A smart money trap. Because what are we really looking at? The extreme, right? Where is my extreme? My 5-minute extreme is here. Where's my 1-minute extreme?
Yeah, I hated it. Yeah, that's kind of how
So in this Walton, if that's your mic, can you please mute?
No, when I took the trash out, I took the thing to the curb.
Walton,
It might be my.
that's your
I
mic.
got
Can
it.
you, yeah, thanks, buddy.
No problem.
So there's my 5-minute, right? Here's my 1-minute, if I'm not mistaken. So there's my 1-minute extreme area of interest inside of my 5-minute. Why?
Yeah, I was about to say why that one.
One sec.
Go.
Hey, what's up, Nicholas?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm on charts if you want to come down here.
You're on charts?
Yeah.
All right,
Okay. Where was I at?
You were showing why that 1 minute.
Oh, yeah.
Not the other one.
Yes.
See, I think I would have went for the lower one and probably fucked myself.
It doesn't really matter which one you would have clicked. They both will have worked. Okay, so here's my 1 minute area of interest. Why is this my 1 minute AOI? Well, look, did this, though there's an imbalance here. There is an imbalance. Actually, you know what? Let's just, for sake of example, we'll pick the 1 minute extreme.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter. Just to show you that it literally, it could have been either or and it wouldn't have mattered.
Got it.
So let's just keep the 5 minute, right? The 1 minute extreme would have been the candle left us an imbalance. There are imbalances left right here. There's an imbalance to fill. Price doesn't actually fill that imbalance and deliver a full equilibrium in the trade. But here's why it doesn't matter. Let me show you. Right, so first and foremost, if I go to the 5 minute, this 5 minute AOI is all you need to take that trade. Literally. That's it. So on that 5 minute AOI, what then breaks structure? Not this low, not this low. This low is the low that induces the high of the Asia structure, which means what? That this 5 minute candle is where I'm going to look to take a position from.
Gotcha. Okay.
Why? Because this is more or less, yes, there's a slight imbalance in price, more or less filled. I'm not worried. This has already been BOS, of internal structure. You could have taken it here or here. Let's say you pick this one after structure gets broken here, right? So there's the Asia high that gets induced. There's a BOS. Right? This is that low that created the break of structure, whatever. And so now what can I do? Okay, there's my decisional, my extreme, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
So here's my decisional. Decisional creates that. And so now I can look back at this decisional. And we can go into a 1 minute time frame. And from my decisional, we can also map out all the price action really fast, right? So what's everything that we saw happen? So first, there was my false channel build during Asia, long. So what's going to happen first? The lows are more than likely going to get induced first, right? So here is some building out of Asia. There's a quick build here. Build, price goes high to induce this high ever so slightly. And then what happens? Huge vectoring candles coming into London, right? So huge, I'll just put vectoring. Oh, give me 1 sec. Okay, come here. Nope, stop. Hey, stop. Come here. In there. That's nice. What's that there? Okay. Oh. Okay, quiet. So, yeah. 1 sec, guys. Okay, so we have vectoring coming into. What did I just do? Into the London Open, into 5 minute AOI, right? Miller, you tracking?
Yeah. No, I got you. I'm watching. Sorry.
Okay, so what happens? We have a false channel build during Asia. We have a slight medium inducement break of structure, a minor inducement, right? So reasons for people to pile in the longs. Fuck. Hey, I cannot talk right now. Let me call you back in 10.
Please stay on the phone.
Why?
Are you home?
Okay. Hopefully without any more interruptions.
Gotcha.
So, false channel built during Asia. We have a minor inducement of this high, a medium inducement of this high. This is also the break structure. Why? This is the last high that formed this low. This low has been kept intact, right? So that high gets broken. There's far too many reasons right there, including the buildup in false channel during Asia for people to pile into the longs, right? Smart money concept guys would look at this and go, oh, we need that retracement at least into this demand that broke that high. This is why they get fucked. Because coming out of Asia, we have a slight false channel to the downside. Right here, you can see some quick building. Right, so very tight building on the price action. Then what happens, we have a slight inducement long, a second channel of build, another inducement of the prior high here. And then what happens, we get into London and we've induced all these people long. So what does London do? Dump short. Now what we've done is we've also taken out smart money concept. We've induced the Asia lows. And in so inducing the Asia lows, we force breakout traders who are trading Asia breakout patterns to then short, right?
Yep.
And we have yet to induce the highs. So what are we going to do? We're going to vector into the London Open, test an area of interest down here, this 5-minute AOI, this extreme point, right? Test this extreme. We didn't go any lowers. There's no medium inducement down there, right? All we've done is induce the lows of Asia. We test into that point. We can see price rapidly push off, right? Now, from the rapid push off in price, we can do a couple things. One, that's already a trade you should have taken. Two, there's internal break of structure right there. However, the break of structure that's really going to matter is this one. Why? Because this is the structure that induces Asia. This is also the decisional that makes that push. If you really want to make this decisional smaller, you can just take this 1-minute version that left us an imbalance, which is actually this candle right here. You can see it gets tested perfectly. Right, so there's that 1 minute getting tested, which forms us a new what? A new area that we can use right here, right? Because this is the one that's going to leave us an imbalance after this slight mess. But let's talk about what happens up here first. So now we have this vectoring for the inducement. We have relative equal highs here. So what is that? Liquidity in the market. Be taken. In addition to the equal highs, price channeled low. So this was a false channel of price. Then we have this point that leaves us the imbalance in price. You can see how price comes in here, taps off a little bit, runs up high, but what do we know? We know this isn't a valid long yet because we still haven't tested our actual area. This would have been like the initial test of the 5 and maybe a slight push off, and now we're coming back to retest it, right? And I won't even mark up that price action, but now we get up here, right? So now we've induced the Asia highs. After we've induced the highs, what happens? Price pulls back because now we're giving all those breakout and retest traders a shot. And this was after the huge rally and push up. Right, so here we are testing the 1 minute AOI, forming a new 1 minute AOI. We have a slight build in price here. After that was tested right here. This might be a let on the 5 minute. Let me double check. It was not. It would have just been mitigation of the mitigation. So there you would have taken that. There's your BOS. There's price pulling back, testing, and now we're going off for the second rapid push. And then you can see more or less where New York kind of comes in to mitigate. We're going to go 1 minute. All right, so here's our second push. Oh, this is actually a let on the 1 minute. You can use the entry helper. All right, so you don't get your let here because no confirmation on the entry helper, but on the second one, after you have this build up here, if you want to just take this 5 minute version, either or would work. You could take this 5 minute version that shows the imbalance and you actually get retests in there. Or you just take the 1 minute version. I don't know why the replay doesn't work. And the 1 minute shows you a let right here, right? So this would have been like building, building, building. Here is what you could consider slight demand in the market. There's your entry confirmation on the let. So you could actually take this along right here as well, because you have that test and bounce. There's price going, clearing your previous highs. So right here, you have another break the structure. Internal BOS. And now we're getting into New York trap time. So what is New York trap time doing? So first and foremost, we're building equal lows here, which you can clearly see. Relative equal lows. It also builds slightly here, slight building. Price pushes quickly to the upside and then does what? Building to induce low to then whipsaw back up high. We come into right here. And if we simply scroll to the left, we can find exactly what we mitigated from. From right here. There's my 5 minute area of interest coming from the decisional. This is a smart money trap. So let's get back into our 1 minute. All right, so there's building, more building here. After the build, what do we get? The inducement. London close comes in to mitigate positions. All about building the story.
Yeah.
Right, so build up, inducement, mitigation, price runs off, and now what do we get?
You build up, inducement, mitigation, and there's I would assume that's vectoring right there too, right?
Yeah, so there's movement. The vectoring, yep. Yeah. So here's another internal BOS. But now to the downside, what do we get? This is the low that generated this high.
Yeah, and BOS.
There's a BOS there, the downside.
Yeah.
This would have been your final inducement high. There was your smart money trap, which actually turned out to be not the best. So they're yelling for fuck's sake when they get hit. We know we have equal lows here, but still need to get taken. So what does price do? Top.
Yep. Jesus.
And we can actually go to the 1 minute and probably find a better area of interest.
God. What the fuck?
So on the 1 minute, my imbalance more or less occurs. This gets filled. I wouldn't really take this one. I'd probably just leave the 5 minutes already pretty clean. And that's more or less coming into that day end, right? So then we have the huge inducement up and now the huge inducement down, right?
Yeah.
Now we're coming into end of day, which is more or less just going to be building. So here we have a vectoring low. And so now we come to the next day, right? And so the next day, now we print this low, but still keeping intact market structure, right? Market's more or less going long. Why are we going long? Because we have all this liquidity to take here, right?
Yeah.
And that gets us into this day, right? Which I already kind of marked out. So on this day, like same thing. What do we have? All starts with Asia, right? We don't even have to trade or worry about what's on the left. We can just worry about Asia. So what do I have during Asia? My buildup for false channels low, right? So inducing shorts throughout Asia, relative equal highs here to left to take. Asia low gets induced, some more building, a quick pop to the upside, right? And then what does price do? Huge vectoring candles down, entering on London opens the 1 minute area of interest. Where's our 1 minute AOI coming from? Right here, right?
Yeah.
What's up?
Then that 1 minute area of interest gets tapped. So we've forcefully ran into that low, also given ourselves a medium inducement of this prior day low, right? And now what happens? Price runs up, gives us the breaker structure. Now we come into the 1 minute decisional. On that 1 minute decisional, so first trade we could have easily taken is this extreme, right? So the extreme gets mitigated. This is also confirmed by time, the vectoring candles, overall trend that we built during Asia. So now we've induced the Asia lows, forced all the traders to short, and now what are we gonna do? Run the fucking highs, right? And now for the second entry on the 1 minute, we get this decisional that caused this internal break of structure. Price pulls back to this decisional. We get a let off the entry helper here. So liquidity equilibrium touch. And then on the second touch of this, we don't get a let, we get a, what is it called?
EDM.
A EDM, right? So the EDM is going to be the equilibrium, fucking something mitigation. What is it? Equilibrium.
What's that
Name of this? No, it's Welton. You're not going to have access to this stuff. I'll try my best.
I'm gonna
this would be
get you up to speed on some things, Wilton, and just for the beginning.
This will be the equilibrium divergent mitigation, right? So we're mitigating the let. So this is the let. Now we're mitigating the let, and we've also created divergence within the equilibrium. And so that's trade 1, 2, 3. And your first initial target's just these Asia highs, right? The high of Asia to get induced. But we already know looking left that we still had all of this liquidity to grab, right? All of this liquidity. Why? Because we had all this retail heaven. Retail heaven more or less got taken from our 5 minute AOI here on the decisional. But now I still have all of this liquidity to take because I still have on my larger picture, all of this empty fucking space to clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? Tap, tap, tap. First target's met. You can hold those motherfuckers all the way through. You hit with medium inducement 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Welton, just to let you know, on just those trades, so if you hold those into the major targets, which would have been like just liquidity to take in the market up here, I think at the last area of liquidity that you'd be aiming to take, you're going to net about 200% return on the 3% risk.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so the first trade comes into a 63, the second one's a 70, and the third one's a 70.
Can you unlock the freeze real quick?
Oh shit!
Unlock the freeze real quick.
And this is what they would consider the cup trades. So literally you'll have one of these every London and every New York, and they're easy as fuck to take. Like I nailed 50R the other day on GU alone, and I didn't even have half of this shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, placement from your room.
Like every day is the same thing, and it's intraday. They don't really swing it, but it's all intraday. Just every single day, just start with Asia. Asia falls build, lows gets induced, which means what? The high's more than likely going to get induced. Dual liquidation models, right? There's my AOI that we're testing into. There's my first trade. My second trade would be like the mitigation of the AOI, so mitigation of the mitigation. Third trade would be the let, right? So then you have the let trade, or the mitigation of the let, and then you've got your fourth trade, which is your EDM. Essentially, every single trade you can take will have 4 setups. So 4 reentry points, 4 confirmed really good R&R reentry points. And it's clockwork.
You're not going over, mister. Come on, inside. Come on, Morty. Come on. Come on, let's go. Inside.
Like, do you see that? It's literally so easy. It's all about just building, or like looking at what liquidity to build and liquidity to take out. Like, I mean, even if you just took this day on the 27th, like, there's your medium inducement. There's your inducement of the Asia highs. You're testing in some POI here. Then what happens? POI is tested, mitigation of the mitigation. After the building, I can already like see all this without even like drawing it out. So false trend during Asia, mitigation of the mitigation. There's my equal lows to be taken. Equal lows get taken. And that's it. It's fucking clockwork. And the rest of these are all let trades. I can literally see them down here. These are all let trades, including the mitigation of the mitigation.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
What's up?
very easy. This is your
Be inside comfortable while we're gone.
Yeah, I got it.
mitigation.
Sad that we're leaving.
Yeah.
There's your mitigation of the mitigation. And there is your let, more or less. On a 5 minute, it might look a lot cleaner. Whatever. But literally, like, that's it. And what is this originally mitigating? Your 5 minute decisional right there. 1, 2, done. First target, Asia lows. Second target, liquidity to take here.
It's fucking insane, dude. What the fuck?
And this is more or less relative equal lows. So you know you're going to take that. These Asia lows never got liquidated, so you know you're probably going to take these Asia lows. I mean, we just keep going left and keep pulling like more targets out of our ass if you want, but like, yeah. It's literally that easy. And it's like, so now what do I have? I have my main push. Did not have an efficiency of pullback, so I'm taking longs into more or less, it would be somewhere here where I would look to take shorts based on wherever the fuck I have POIs, confirmations, timing, liquidity, all that fun stuff. It's like, I can go to any day and do this markup and like show you the 4 trades that you would take that day. I mean, these are a 1 to 60, just the Asia high. And like, you could have been in and out of this within, I mean, no time. You're like halfway through London, you're done for the entire week. You're making 60% return in a day. Like, you're done for the week.
That's fucking.
I mean, you guys trade prop accounts, right? So like, take a 500K prop account, you're making 60% on that, you're done.
Yeah.
That's 1 week. You just made over $250,000.
It's retarded. Jesus.
It's all just about dissecting this price action like incredibly well.
Yeah.
Every single little cycle, every microcycle.
But that's how all those trades that take on the 1 minute or the 5.
Either or. The 5 minutes you're home, the 1 minutes where you're looking for like fucking very specific stuff.
What's crazy is how this plays into the times that or the micro as well.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same times that I gave you guys to the micro, right? So back when we were trading the micro macro, it's the same times. So you saw London open trap 8 a.m., New York trap 1400, London close, right? So what time is London close?
10.
1600.
Oh yeah. Oops.
It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
But that's all I have time for today, boys. I have to hop off.
Gotcha.
I'll see
No
you guys
worries.
later.
All right, boss. All right, man.